We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill and how they're the best duo in the NFL right now. Truly special what they're accomplishing. And a lot of people will give Tyreek most of the credit for that, but I think, it's a combination of these two. Also throwing McDaniel in there, he's probably just as important as those two when it comes to this offense and how they're clicking. But it's just a combination of Tua's accuracy, anticipation to throw these balls into these windows down the field, and then with Tyreek's explosiveness, probably the most explosive receiver of all time, and his ability to run these routes and be in the correct spot. And then when you get him in that perfect timing, it's pretty much unstoppable for this offense. You get the cheat out motion in this specific play, and all these plays I'm going to break down are pretty much all down the field. 90% of them are considered deep passes, 20 plus yards. You get the cheat out motion, you give him, working dig down the field, and he's breaking this, and right as he's breaking to the inside, the ball's already being released to this spot over the middle, and then it hits Hill right in stride every single time. The fact that this has been so consistent this year, pretty much Tua doing that with anybody has been consistent this year, but the fact that they keep doing this 20 plus yards down the field pretty much every single time is unheard of. So I'm surprised none of this type of play has not turned into an interception. All it takes is Tua either missing one time or being off time in the with his footwork, or it takes Tyreek taking one step out of place, and then this ball could be picked down the line. But they have not had that happen. It's really amazing what these two have been able to accomplish. Definitely the best duo that we're seeing right now in the NFL. Doesn't really matter what coverage it is. Many different situations. It can be on these deep in breakers. It can be in motion. It can be not in motion. Everything. It can be versus man. It can be versus zone match, whatever. And they're still killing it into these tight windows. Tua's ability, his aggressiveness to throw these types of throws is super special. A lot of QBs I don't even think would attempt to make these throws. It's not that I don't think they're physically capable of it, because Tua doesn't have the strongest arm or anything, but he makes these tight window throws because he's willing to throw them, and he throws it with such good timing and anticipation. And Tyreek gets there because of his explosiveness and his speed, and he's more than just that. People will talk about the speed of this offense. I think his football intelligence is overall underrated, and his ability as a route runner, and it just, the combination and the marriage of all these things is what makes these two special. Kind of crazy. It's literally just without fail. He's throwing these into these windows down the field. It could be wide open. It could look, not open at all. It can be between four defenders. It's always working for them. Pretty much every time they throw it, it works. They got to have the highest success rate in the NFL. Tua, McDaniel deserves that credit, fitting it in between these linebackers, the timing of it, and it hits Tyreek Hill in stride, and then he's also dangerous after the catch, one of the most explosive players there, but even then, he most of his yards is still coming through the air, which is actually insane. And then this play specifically has been their bread and butter all year long. The only times they've ran it, and it's scored pretty much every single time. Tua's deep ball has always been solid. It's always been underrated because people think, deep ball is an arm strength thing. Usually it's not. Sometimes if you're off base, but if you're throwing a deep ball and you're just in stride, in rhythm, good footwork in the pocket, you hit your back foot, and then you're ready to throw it with good timing, it's basically a timing thing. If you don't hold on to the ball too long, it's fine. And they're playing quarters to the bottom here, so this safety is playing a quarters technique. And once Tua recognizes this, he sees he's not playing in a deep half look. He knows he has the one-on-one to Tyreek, because Tyreek Hill is too fast and explosive for a quarters technique safety to have any sort of help on this type of play. So he gets one-on-one. Ball's thrown with good timing and accuracy, and I don't think we've seen them miss this at all that entire season, that exact play. They've ran it and scored it on it so many times, as you'll see throughout this entire video. And here's a little bit of them connecting off script. Probably the biggest throw of the year for Tua, maybe of his career, honestly. The off script, stepping up in the pocket, lofting it up to Tyreek, the tracking, the finish. It's all beautiful. That was such a huge play. And then they finished the drive with the go-ahead touchdown, 3rd and 10 situation. It's all just insane what they're accomplishing this year. And it's it doesn't always have to be with the timing and the anticipation, which is the really impressive stuff to me, but it can even be when things aren't perfect, just like that, because both of these players are just really on the same page. And then here's the fade to finish. Tua throws a great ball. Him and Tyreek drops it right in the breadbasket. Pretty good. I mean, I'm never a huge fan of throwing this type of route, but it's not the highest percentage, but it works for them. They can make anything work, I feel like. And that's just an absolute dime from Tua. And Tyreek Hill showing late hands so the receiver never has a chance, create enough separation. this duo ship is like the perfect blend, man. Here's another touchdown. Good setup by McDaniel with the motion out here. Get him this one-on-one. It widens that corner just enough with enough space for Tyreek to work. Tua reads it. He sees it the whole way. Him and Tyreek are on the same page. He gets one-on-one with Kyle Duggar, who's like a safety linebacker hybrid type because of that motion pre-snap. And it all just works out. And him and Tua see it the same way. They've been pretty good. Even they haven't been on like the same page every single play this year. There's been a couple times where they were kind of off. But even with that, like the stats back this up. The film back it up. They're doing things just on a different level right now, which is crazy because there's some other amazing duos in the NFL, like, Kelsey and Mahomes. But I think Tua and Tyreek have sort of taken that throne at least this season. Another big play to Tyreek. Tyreek doesn't even run the right route. He just, broken route right here, just finds the open space. They end up, making these things work out, even though this isn't the most impressive play from Tua, but he's able to recognize this. This is how he's not just like throwing it to a spot all the time, because he doesn't like what he sees there for this look, and he goes over to Tyreek. Tyreek's sort of floating, and he's like, Tyreek's not where I expected him to be. He finds him to open space, and they still make it work for the big play. Here to see it versus cover 2 man. His first read is Waddle at the top, off the play action, and you can see, love the reset. This is just beautiful timing, execution, everything right here. The McDaniel, the play calling, everything is so timing based in this offense. You see the play action behind, set your feet, you're ready to throw it. Look, he's already preparing to throw, but he doesn't like the look. The safety is really sitting on it. Not a lot of separation created here, so he gets back off of it, re-hitch, take a step back in the pocket. You reset those feet, and you're still throwing this ball with anticipation. Like, not as much anticipation as usual because, like, that second read, but it's still, as he's breaking, he's throwing that ball, and Tyreek comes back for it, and you're still making a big play 20 yards down the field. Another example of the deep shot where they get Tyreek isolated, this time versus just a single high look. A lot of times, it's been versus split safety, but they're playing quarters to that side, so Tyreek gets his one-on-one, and Tua drops another time, this time farther down the field, a deeper pass. A lot of their touchdowns on this play have come around, like, the 40, maybe deep 30-yard line-ish area, but here, they just basically run the same play with slightly different variations to the backside. Sometimes they motion away here. Sometimes the running back will stay in the backfield. But usually pretty similar concept to the other side. And this is just a great ball from Tua. Drops right into the breadbasket. Put it on his outside shoulder just in case if this guy was a little bit closer. He never has a chance to make a play. And Tyreek tracking it in perfectly. That accuracy with his explosiveness combo is just too elite. Cheat out motion with the deep dig with clear out from Chosen right here. Very similar to that first play we saw, but a little bit different. He's not like matched up. It's versus a deeper zone type of coverage. And look at all this space down the field. Good rhythm and timing. Hits Tyreek Hill right in stride. Like this, it's insane. It's just like automatic almost. And these types of plays are not very high percentage for most offenses. And for the Dolphins, this is like what they do better than anyone. And here it is again. If Tua sees this guy's not playing as a deep half defender, he sees him playing as like a quarters, he's throwing that to Tyreek Hill in stride. The timing of it all. I don't know why they keep playing corners like in press or even soft press. It doesn't really matter. Tua's going to hold off this guy, and he sees this safety not get over as a deep half. He kind of sits towards this. He's playing in a quarters alignment. Tua with the timing, the drop, and every time they throw in this, they haven't missed it all season long, which is insane. I'm sure they'll miss it eventually, but their rate on these plays are super high. Got to be, pretty much 100%, and I don't think anyone else is even close to that. Honestly, sometimes in these videos, I feel like it can get a little repetitive because they'll run the motion, this time a motion across, the deep dig on the in-breaker, 20 plus yards down the field. Tyreek makes a big play after the catch. He has to, pull up a little bit, but it's like, I got to show these plays because people will be like, oh, it's just a one-time thing. No, this is consistent. This is insane what they're doing. I don't think people realize it. The footwork in the pocket, the timing of it all, hitting him right in stride off the break, like it's literally it's poetry, man. It's art. It really is. Like, I'm not even joking. It's so fun to watch each week. To see example of Tua throwing like deep out, deep comebacks, things people think they can't run, but when they have, it's run pretty effectively because people tend to cheat to the inside versus this team or, play over the top. This guy gets his hips to open up and he attacks the blind spot because Tyreek's a great route runner. Look at the anticipation throw, even though, he doesn't have the strongest arm. But with the anticipation that you're throwing with and Tyreek creating that much separation, it's just very, very difficult to stop, even with, your arm strength limitations, in quotes. Last play that we're going to break down, This one versus the Eagles, the other touchdown. Might be their most impressive, I think, vertical shot of the year. Just thinking about it, looking at all of them. I mean, they were all impressive. This is, I think, Tua's best throw, the timing of it. And this is the first one to come to the left, I believe, just, off the top of my head, and we just broke down the rest of them. But I think they were all to the right, and typically Tua has been a more accurate deep ball thrower when throwing to the right side of the field, which is interesting. But to the left, he drops a dime here, and they're basically bracketing Tyreek to the side of the field with this safety, but they should be playing cloud, in my opinion, where this guy is like a squat corner and this guy's a deep half defender. You can't bracket because that's where you get beat over the top. This guy sits on it too much, thinking, because it's a 3rd and 8 situation, so he's like, got his outside leverage. He's expecting this guy to be to the inside. Tyreek has a beautiful release, and he's too explosive, and then Tua just drops it over that outside shoulder just in case the safety was going to be able to get there, because he knew Tyreek's able to stack the outside corner like that, and it's just literally drops it right into the bucket. It's so easy for them. Like, truly amazing what these two are able to do. The duo, Tua, Tyreek, best we've seen in the NFL this season. They showed what they were up to last year. Arguably the best duo. This year, I don't even think it's an argument. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.